Thank you, Samir. Good morning, afternoon, everyone. Welcome to the 3AI Spectra AI No Bounds, the largest virtual AI summit leadership roundtable. This session's discussion focuses on transforming industry segments with GenAI, decoding the new value chain. I am Rajeswari Medisetti, and I will be moderating today's session along with co-moderator Balaji Dhamodharan. We are now joined by a distinguished panel of experts who bring a wealth of knowledge and insights on the impact of generative AI across industry segments. Sit back, relax, and let's dive into the future because it's already here and it's making us all look good. So, Dileep, can you please tell us how Gen AI is reshaping business models in your sector to improve the customer experience and streamlining operations?
Sure, Rajeswari. So first of all, thank you for having me on the panel. So Gen AI is indeed like transforming the business model across the sectors. It's not like one sector, but it's transforming the entire sector. Let's talk about the sales operation to get started with. So Gen AI is changing the B2B sales sector by seizing in new market opportunities, boosting the effectiveness of the sales team. It's automating the routine task and augmenting the team capabilities. Like it's enables sales representatives to concentrating on building the customer relationship and closing the deal instead of going and getting the signals, getting the where they can sell the data, they sell the products. And they are basically analyzing the customer data to target messaging that help the customer outreach, and they are helping the sales industry to renew the efforts as well. If we talk about the retail side, right? So Gen AI is redefining the customer interaction. Like they are having the chatbots, they are having the virtual assistants that can help the customer 24 into 7. They can answer the customer questions, they can resolve any issues, and by doing that, the retail industry is increasing the customer satisfaction and the increasing the loyalty. If we talk about the e-commerce, right, we are improving the efficiency, productivity by automating the repeated tasks, as I said, like in retail as well. And it is like freeing the human time to focus on the complex and creative tasks instead of like doing all the tasks manually. So there are a lot of automations going on, and this is like how we are. They are personalizing marketing strategies, ensuring the seamless and satisfied shopping experience for the customers.
Fantastic. Thanks for the great insight, Dileep. That was extremely helpful. And our next question is for you, Surya. It's on what are the challenges in adopting Gen AI across different parts of the value chain? And most importantly, how can companies overcome these obstacles? I think you're on mute.
Okay. Before I start, let me really thank Raju for the kind introduction. Attending to your question, the question is quite loaded, and I cannot speak for organizations of all sizes and verticals because that's a very overarching question, right? Let me give a very specific question, and then let us think through how Gen AI is upending all the business models we know, because this question is more strategic than operational or tactical, right? The reason why I'm mentioning this is we have developed in my company, we have developed co-pilots on which will attend to the healthcare sector in terms of the triaging, in terms of medical diagnosis, as well as nutrition. So that said, there is a reason why I said this, right? Because in the value chain, particularly in healthcare, I'm talking about the core functions on which a business is built. Even those models are getting upended by Gen AI. So the impact is quite large, right? So the CIOs, CEOs, and everyone who is in this journey will have to be absolutely aware of the trends that are going on. So the challenges, there are two challenges. One from the SaaS product developers like ourselves, and the businesses as usual, right? From the healthcare sector, for example, the service providers of healthcare. For them, it is much more strategic. For us, the developers' point of view, we will have to be acutely aware of the changes in the landscape of the technology. Particularly, the LLMs have been appending our earlier models. And then the personalization that we are doing also poses a lot of challenges in terms of the privacy and data security, which we can probably, get across, get over with data obfuscation or encryption models or access controls and all that. Yeah. And the second challenge is, how do we train our RAG pipelines? That is a data quality issue. So there are multitudes of issues, both from the service provider's point of view, as well as the company's a business point of view. So the value chains of the past is getting upended for sure. Thank you.
Thank you, Surya. So, Guru, I think in alignment with what Surya has mentioned, how do you think we can align the principles of human-centered design to enhance the explainability and transparency, and also to take care of the risk and safety management while developing and implementing the AI systems, so that they are ethically aligned with user needs and regulatory requirements across the industry sectors?
Thank you, Raji. I think, first of all, thanks a lot for having me here in this panel. Yeah, when it comes to AI, right, I'll tell you, being as a practitioner, one thing will stop us in progressing in AI is to not involve human in the designs, and that probably the, I would say it's a stopping, or actually will block the AI progress. Right. So people have run businesses without AI, even without AI, right? So what would make them believe that this AI is more helpful, than what it is? The key thing in the human-centered design is to have that what I call as explainability, because people have taken decision without AI. Now AI is taking decision. How do I trust AI? This comes to to mind first, right? I think there are several models. For example, some of them are black box AI. You give something input, you get something output. Now, how do I trust this AI? So there are, kind of like a solution like Lime, which is like, locally interpretable languages, right? And you can actually find the, kind of answers to black box AI. Second thing I wanted to find out is the experience. When the AI gives experiences, you need to make sure that experience in the stream of Netflix, or in terms of the other FANG thing, how do you user experience the AI outcome? And third one is, I would say, is you talked about ethical considerations, right? I think a lot of AI projects were shut down due to bias. For example, one of the cloud large cloud vendor shut down a resume selection to AI because it is apparently choosing a particular race and a particular gender, because historically the particular race and the particular gender has always been selected, right? So the AI believes in data, so data itself can be kind of like biased. Historically, it's very important to make sure that we remove the bias so that the human trust the AI systems. So I would say the human, more and more you develop AI, the human must be in the center of the AI itself for the day. Again, be it a white box AI or a black box AI, I would say that it has to be in the center of the design itself.
Fantastic. That was extremely insightful, Guru. And following that, I know that you are an industry expert. I mean, you're a cross-industry expert. You worked on several industries, right? So I would like to get you a next follow-up question as well.
Sure.
How is Gen AI enabling the creation of new markets or transforming the existing ones?
Yeah, I think that we have been talking about Gen AI, or we have been talking about AI for almost like a decade now. Now the Gen AI is a new shiny tool, right? When truly speaking, Gen AI I would call as almost like an iPhone moment in the AI field, right? So far, I talked about AI takes decisions based on data being available, and you need a labeled data, unlabeled data based on that. It never, created something new, right? I mean, now Gen AI can reduce, it actually thinks like almost like a human, it kind of creates something new. Then there is no limit in terms of application of AI. But what I feel in the industry is, wherever the customer touch points are there, right? That's where the Gen AI provides a significant value. For example, call center automations. We have been automating call center for a while. You press one, press two, press three, kind of a thing. Now we have a human, almost a human-like person, able to solve, customer queries. Is there? It's whole call center is completely, I would say, like humanized, through AI, right? That's part is there. Second thing, so most of the content generator, and if you look at it, if you're part of an ad agencies, they never tend to use AI in the before. So now being generative AI can create new contents and new stuff needed. They're heavily using the generative AI component, which they never used before, right? Again, if you look at a Singapore company called C Mode, and they're using generative AI and other capabilities to take the radiology, which is simple, X-ray kind of thing, right? And then we interpretate, the radiology's graph, and then transform that into a human, like English like language back to the consumers. I think there are several industries will be like revolutionized. And as I said before, what we need to be cautious in the generative AI is it tends to be hallucinating, so we just need to control the hallucination part of it. Other than that, the Gen AI provides a lot of promises.
Thank you, Guru. That's very interesting to know. And I know, like we already heard from Surya, you talked about what are the challenges of Gen AI, right? In addition to quality, it could be a multidimensional things we have to consider. And Guru, you also emphasized that human has to be part of the designing the AI systems, because without human, AI may not exist even. So with that thing in consideration, so Surya, maybe, I'm interested to get you started on what are some long-term strategic considerations that companies should keep in mind when integrating Gen AI into their operations. And then Guru, if you can also add your perspective to it, that would be great.
Yeah, this is, integrating Gen AI into operations is a very enticing proposition, right? Gen AI, and I'm not sure why we are singling out Gen AI. It's part of AI. So when I answer the question, it is also non-Gen AI portion of it, right? So we have been discussing this for a long time. And then I also alluded to saying that, Gen AI is a more strategic decision making for CXOs in question. What we will have to consider is, the changes that are happening is mind-blowingly rapid. All you have to do is just go to LinkedIn, and then you'll see how people are talking about Gen AI and the use cases that are being, coming up to fore. The hype, it is not a hype. This is very visceral, very, very tangible, right? That said, even the laggards, tech laggards earlier are really forced to go with the momentum and then catch up, right? I was reading a paper articulated by BCG, Boston Consulting Group. They said all the CXOs are laden with, decisions regarding competitive advantage, the missed opportunities to create customer value, the productivity benefits that we will get. What if you don't really adopt the new technologies? Would you be able to attract the talent or retain the talent that you currently have? And the overall culture and the organizational agility that you would miss out otherwise, right? So, it is imperative that, companies just, without thinking, I said incorrectly, give due consideration for, embedding all GenAI technologies into their workflows, basically the innocuous ones, but also be cognizant of the highest potential and, assess the impact and feasibility of implementing some of the use cases in their own business. Because like in earlier cycles of innovation, stakeholder buy-in is not a big deal because people have already bought into it. So the times have changed. The world models are getting upended. And now execution is a big deal. That's what I would think.
Thanks, Surya. I think Surya has covered most of the points. I would say that, but I think that again, Raji, I think that one thing I have noticed is that doing a POC is one thing, scaling across enterprises are two totally different thing. Okay, yeah, I think people look at AI as like a shiny toy. Again, I do agree with Surya that it's not GenAI, it's just general AI itself, right? I think you need to have a use case factory, and then you need to have a factory-based implementations, right? I think that the lot of long-term situation. I think that the organization who benefited most are not the heroic one use case, two use case, and rather they have a very boring approach of having a transformative AI approach and tuning different AI models and AI use cases on and off, right? And that's what scaled up, and that's what helped organization. And I would suggest that when you wanted to deliver AI at scale, think strategically, set up an AI COE, train your team members, get the business adoption, take the top use cases. But look at very strategically and long term, and celebrate success. At the same time, don't get bogged down with one single use cases. We need to have a lot of use cases, and you can fail as well. It's okay to fail. So.
Thank you, Guru.
Fantastic. Thanks, Guru. And next question is for Dileep. Given your experience in digital transformation and the customer engagement space, the question is, what impact does GenAI have on customer data management, and how businesses leverage this data to enhance customer experience? And after Dileep, Surya, if you could follow up with your insights, that would be extremely helpful as well.
Sure, Balaji. So as we were talking about GenAI, right? So it has a significant impact on the customer data management. It is transforming like how the business can leverage the data to enhance the customer experience. So the GenAI is like it kind of trained on billions of parameters. So it can process a large amount of data, and it can extract the insight which were previously very difficult to get. So it's not only applicable for the CRM, I would say, it is applicable for all the industries. It can be applicable for medical industry, it can be applicable for pharma industry or any other industry as well. So I'm going to talk about two specific examples here. So for example, a retail company like Amazon or any company, they can analyze the purchase history for a customer by using the browsing behavior, by using their feedback, and they can customize the personalized experience for an individual user. So whenever you go and log in on Amazon or any e-commerce or any retail company website, you can see the product which is most suitable to you. So it means like the customer is receiving the recommendation on their tailor-made, on their test, and it will improve the overall satisfaction. It will improve the overall loyalty. So that's the one example. The another example which I can say, like the GenAI powered virtual assistant or the chatbots, they are like 24/7. They can take care of the complex task which was earlier was very difficult. Like customer was spending hours of hours to getting the right answer by calling the customer cares. Now it's very easy. They can take your feedback, they can answer any question, and even in some of the cases they can make a purchase or payment on behalf of you as well. So it's basically reducing the overall reducing the overall wait time. It's increasing the experience. It's increasing a customer loyalty towards the retail company or any company which is using the GenAI solutions. So that's what I would say, and it's applicable for all the industry, as I was saying. I mean, if you talk about the, let's say, sales industry, the GenAI can process the large amount of data, and they can give the signals, they can give the intents, which can be help a sales representative to make a call. Yeah.
The next question is for next and the last question, given the time, and that's for Surya, is how are predictive analytics driven by Gen AI transforming customer service and financial advisory services?
Okay, cool. Predictive analytics has been around a long time, and a lot of use cases are discussed already. But Gen AI is truly transforming the customer service. And to specifically talk about financial advisory services, I am currently advising a wealth management startup. Okay, and they are building an AI-powered chatbot and a virtual assistant to provide a range of human-like responses. So, it is augmenting what we earlier used to reach out to, like certified planners, financial planners, investment advisors, wealth management firms, etc. So what we are aiming to do here is to have a much more personalized advice tailored to individuals' financial situations, right? And then these individuals are not high net worth individuals. So we are democratizing the same level of service, right, to the other parts of financial advisory. So I strongly believe, we are advising in terms of investment planning, retirement planning, estate planning, tax planning, insurance, etc. So that is quite significant, right? And GenAI is a game changer to enhance the efficiency, effectiveness of the customer service for this market. So that impact is very overarching and very, very real.
Fantastic. Thank you for your insights. Again, team, this was a fantastic session. I personally learned a lot. Given your expertise and experiences, sharing with me and with the community, I definitely feel it's going to be very helpful for everyone. If you have any follow-up questions, please feel free to follow up via LinkedIn. We're all available on LinkedIn as well. Again, thanks for everyone's time, and I really appreciate your insights that you shared with us. Over to Dileep, over to Samir. Thank you so much.